3, 2, 1. It's your boy B Bowen.
It's your boy A Butter.
And welcome to the First Street Ball Podcast.
Streets first.
From the parks of Wall Street, baby. We here. Today we got the legendary NYC, Fordham, Laker, Smush, Parker in the building. Smush, what up, Smush?
What's going on, sir?
Nah, man, not much, man. It's a pleasure having you, man. Thanks for taking the time to come up and be with us, man. For real, it's important.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for thinking about me, and this whole movement.
Now we hope our fans and our audience understand there's a little history here.
Oh man, this is a legend. This is a legendary. This is a legendary interview right here.
You got one host that grew up with him from kids.
You already
growing up together. They have history, and then you got the other host, myself and Smush, backcourt mates
at Fordham
University.
Problem. Let's get right in. You know what? I think you should have sat on the couch with Smush, man. This is.
You can talk to Bobo. We in a triangle. We can do it. He's used to a triangle.
They're used to a triangle.
No, but honestly, real talk, I don't think we actually really got a chance to grow with each other at Fordham.
Not even for that 1 year.
Not even for.
We got a chance to
for all those who don't know, Smush and A Butter played together at Fordham. Backcourt mates. What a fucking backcourt that was, man. Let's get right in. For all those who don't know, hold on, I'm sorry, A. Let me cut you. I'm sorry, A. For all those who don't know, Streets First is a podcast that lays the platform down so people like Smush and A Butter and Chris Gotti and Andre Barrett and et cetera, could come and tell those legendary stories for people who don't know. A lot of histories in this room right now. You guys have done so much to the game of New York City basketball. It's unbelievable. And to have you two go to college together, play against each other in Rucker Park and street ball, and then be here right now on the podcast together, epic moment right now, man. I appreciate having both of y'all here, man, because
both of us, you know that.
Fun times.
This, you know, but we gonna get right into it though, man, because we here to talk about the basketball culture. Smush Parker, you have the floor. Tell me what it was like growing up as a kid, man, in New York City, man.
Man, where do I start?
Right.
Man, where do I start?
Right.
I mean, as you know, West 4th Street, was my crib growing up. Literally, that was my crib. Like, from day one, from birth, my dad played, my mom played, so I was always around the game. So I was literally born on that court. So I grew up around the game. Basketball was in my blood, and that's where I honed my skills. A lot of guys coming in here. You had Dre being here right before me, talking about how he played junior high school and these tournaments and played against these guys. I didn't grow up that way. That's what makes my story unique. I grew up playing against men my entire life.
Right.
No basketball tournaments. No, I never played against kids my own age.
Right, I remember that.
Never played against guys my own age. So I grew up playing against men who bullied me, who beat me up, who knocked me down, who never gave me anything.
I remember Smush. It was like they was kicking Smush off the court to Smush dunking on your whole family at West 4th.
That's the environment I grew up in.
Right.
From dudes kicking my ball over the fence.
Right.
Telling me, get out of here, man.
Right.
Go play on the other court.
Right.
So how did that help you transition, like getting ready for college?
I mean, I believe that helped me out a lot because it built up that hunger, that drive to wanna play, want to be able to play. Like I said, I didn't play against guys my own age, so when I got to like college or high school and I was playing against kids my own age, it was easy. It was literally like I was out there playing by myself. I was playing against kids that I didn't know that really couldn't play basketball on the level that I was at my age.
Right.
So when I got to college, I just had a drive and a hunger for the game that, the competition I was playing against just didn't have. I just had that, and growing up in New York City, y'all know, y'all get that, that hunger, y'all get that fight in your eyes.
No doubt.
That fire in your blood, and you see red when you see somebody that is trying to take something from you, or they say is better than you, or you know, somebody that you have to compete against. Mm-hmm. You know, it just does something to you. It did something to me.
Well, what was it like, you know, playing at Fordham with A Butter? I mean, you two playing in the backcourt together. I mean, two different personalities. Both of y'all, to me, I know both of you guys personally. Both of y'all motherfuckers is crazy. But
let's make sure we understand this first, okay?
What?
Smush was at the school before me.
Okay.
All right. So let's make sure that's understood first. So
what
was told to me? Was
let's hear this
me and
shit.
him was going to be in the backcourt together because he was already at the school coming in from junior college and he was putting in his work already to be established. Where we got lost at was as soon as practice started.
Talk about it.
He put us against each other. It wasn't even like it was, you know, you guys are supposed to, it was sold to me as if you guys can do it together, and then when I get there, it's the challenge.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Right. So me being a city kid that from Harlem, that kind of like didn't rub right because I felt like you just sold me a dream.
Right.
So I already started off kind of negative, you know, in Fordham, just with that mind frame. He's telling me I can't drive the car that I got while I'm on here because it looked like they gave me something. Like, you don't have nothing to do with anything that I'm doing. So I'm here. Like, I chose you over the school that I was supposed to go to.
Right.
Not only did I do that, which was a good school, but once I get here, now you're making me fight myself for it. Was like, yo, you signed the line already. You here. You have no other choice.
It's too late now.
You understand what I'm saying? So I wanted to hear his perspective of what was it like knowing him before I got there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because maybe I can hear that perspective to understand. Maybe that's why I felt the way I felt, to act the way I did. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, just to piggyback off of what you said, they sold you that story. They didn't even tell me they was bringing you in. like he said, I was already there when he got there. You know, I'm the point guard.
Right.
You know, although I did a lot of the scoring, I was the point guard.
Right.
They brought him in as a point guard.
Right.
So when he got there, I knew who he was from street ball, but I didn't know he was actually coming to the school. So when he was in practice, I'm like, yo, okay, you know, he's here, all right. Now they matched him up against us.
White. He always on the white, I'm on the black, then he switches up. White, black.
It was never like they never presented it to us like, okay, it's gonna be y'all two in the backcourt together. Y'all run this offense. Y'all gonna do it. It was never like that. It was always y'all going head to head, point guard against point guard.
The spirit in us is the reason why it eventually got to the point where he had to play both of us.
Right.
Like us challenging each other. You get what I'm saying?
Well, maybe that's what Coach wanted to do, though. Psychologically, he probably wanted you two to compete against each other. So now when it's time to go out there and face our opponent, now it's like, okay, we got each other. So psychologically, we about to go bust their ass.
I know this is Smush interview, but I don't want to sound too wrong by saying this, but isn't that your job before we get there? I mean, isn't that part of the job to like understand what type of kids you sitting up here and you're recruiting?
Yeah, but
I want to know what makes you think that me being a kid coming from Harlem at the time that I was, and what he was already doing in the school, what would make you think that would be a good way to get us to mesh?
All right, so what happened?
I respect that, what you're saying from coaching, but I'm just saying, like, it plays a bigger part before, but go ahead.
But so what happened with Bob Hill then? What went wrong?
Honestly, nothing. When I was there.
Well, what's your view? Because he's asking you wrong to me. What's your view?
How could that be wrong?
Because you saying what went wrong, and he probably don't look like nothing went wrong there. So you putting him in a space where he got to answer that way. I'm just saying, what's your view of Bob Hill? Right or wrong?
Politically correct.
What's your view of Bob Hill?
What's your view of Bob Hill?
When I was there, I never had an issue with Bob Hill. You know, he was a coach. We were the players.
You ain't have to talk about, right?
Huh?
The nigga that recruited you took care of you.
I mean,
he was your blanket. Shea Berry was my blanket.
He wasn't my blanket. Like Mike Brown was my. Mike Brown recruited me.
That's what I'm talking about. Mike Brown was your. That's your blanket. I said the wrong name. That's what I'm saying.
I know who.
The people that recruited us as the assistant coaches, those were kind of like the guys that kind of like made sure.
No, I get that. I'm talking about who was not Mike Brown, NBA Mike Brown.
No.
Oh, okay. Look. You had NBA guys on the fucking Fordham team.
I didn't have a problem with Bob Hill as a coach when he was there. I felt the reason why I decided to go to Fordham was because he was there.
Okay.
You know, I believed that I was going to play in the NBA.
Okay.
I want to play in the NBA. So I'm like, listen, who better to prepare you for the NBA besides the ex-NBA coach? Right. Coaching the NBA for 15 years.
Right.
So that's why I went to Florida.
Right.
So when I was there, I never had an issue with him. Right. I mean, now, from things that I've heard, he's had an issue with us as players.
Right.
But he never discussed that with us when we were there, and I never had an issue with the guy when I was there.
Educate him.
I mean,
which is another bad thing from NBA coach to becoming a coach in college. Because you heard what he just said. You have a problem with us that we don't know. He doesn't even relate that to the assistant coaches to make sure we understand that.
Yeah. Well, either that or bad cop, good cop. The assistant coaches probably ain't want to tell y'all how he really felt. You know what I mean? Like,
why recruit us then? You taking a year, 2, 3, 4 years of my life away from me.
Guess what? If I'm a college coach and I get Smush Parker and Adrian Walton in my motherfucking gym, I keep my job for another 3 to 5 years.
Man, you right.
That's the business.
That's if we stay.
See?
Right. No,
all of that is predicated
let him keep going now, because now you're getting somewhere.
All of that is
now you're getting somewhere.
Okay, so now we're talking about state. Now, what was the next step after Fordham? What was next for you after Fordham?
Well, for me, I wanted to play in the NBA.
Okay.
I thought I was going to do 2 years and I was out.
Right.
What I told Bob Hill after my first year was I was going to put my name in the draft.
Yeah.
Compete in the camps,
yeah.
Go to these tryouts, see, just test the waters.
Yeah.
That's what I told Bob Hill I was gonna do.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah.
And
did he help you with that?
Who?
Bob Hill.
No.
Did he help you get to the camps or anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
Bob Hill helped me with nothing in that process.
Okay. Probably didn't want you to leave.
God rest in peace, but Rodney Parker, no relation, helped me in that field.
Let's be clear, no relation.
No relation, Rodney Parker. But I tested the waters. I went to the camps in Chicago, playing against guys that are supposed to be these big name, point guards coming out of these big universities. I'm making a name for myself. My name is circling, making its way around the camp. The coaches, the scouts, NBA teams is contacting me, contacting my management. I'm not even gonna say an agent because I didn't have an agent at the time.
Right.
My management is telling me, listen, you're playing well. I'm hearing great things about you. If you want to, do something with this, you can actually stay and keep your name in the draft. So I went back home. I didn't make a decision right away. I'm a kid from New York City. Never was big on school. I played 1 year high school basketball. Right. Played only 1 year AAU basketball. I did 1 year junior college.
Y'all hear this?
1 year junior college and 1 year at Fordham. So I wasn't really big on school.
Right.
But I knew I needed school to get to the next level.
Right.
And here it is. Somebody telling me that the next level is attainable. I jumped on it.
Right.
Listen, if you say that I can go number 14, 15, 13, 12 in the draft, 1 year D1 basketball, went from a no name to somebody. I'm there. I told Bob Hill what I was going to do.
Right. No support.
No support. He didn't like that idea.
Right.
Told me I needed to be in his program another 2 years for me to be an NBA player.
To be an NBA player, right.
I mean, which it might have helped, but I'm not saying he was wrong, and I'm not saying...
You don't feel the opportunity...
Look, you proved his ass wrong.
Listen,
period.
I'm not here to talk bad about Bob Hill.
You're not talking bad.
I'm just saying there was no support on his end on my decision.
Okay.
And he's saying, basically knowing that he made a decision to come to the school based off of that history of that coach.
And then to turn around and get no fucking help. It's like...
It's not to talk bad about him, but
no,
it's
just the reality.
No, but this is why I asked him this, because now it's like the next story. If you didn't learn from that, it would show now wherever you are in life. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So this is why I'm trying to get to this point. So now you made it to the NBA.
Yes, sir, as a walk-on.
So now finish
NBA to what team?
Finish that. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying?
Well, without Bob Hill's support And I'm not gonna say he did negative, stuff towards my
career.
My but I'm not gonna go into that.
He just didn't do the positive.
Yeah, I didn't get drafted, but I did, get invited to Cleveland Cavaliers camp as a walk-on. I was like maybe the 5th guard on their list. Beat out everybody for the spot. Signed for the year. By 15 games into the season, I was the starting point guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers my rookie year.
15 games in, y'all.
New York City, y'all hear this shit?
15 games into the season as a walk-on.
As a walk-on.
As a walk-on. 15 games into the season. Please continue.
Which fits that you was ready to play against grown men. You've been branded for that from your story. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
This is how you can show it. Show.
Played 6 years in the NBA. I don't know what direction y'all want to go in.
It's on you.
Listen,
when you Wikipedia yourself, it's what you say.
You need the LA story.
Need that LA story.
Every situation I've been in, from Cleveland, I played a full year in Cleveland. Then after that I went to the Atlanta Hawks camp. Politics of the game. Numbers game. I didn't make that team. I went overseas for a year, Greece. Played in Greece for a year.
Before you go, just stay right here real quick. You got Cleveland, you got Atlanta, and then you got Greece, right? Now look, what did you pick up, or who it was more a little bit, just say influential by when it came to Cleveland? What did you learn? Because that was the first spot. So you had to kind of like get either a feel of, I belong here, or, you get what I'm saying? Like, who could you say at the time, maybe you felt good or could see something that you could learn to try to make yourself feel like I belong here. Besides your own talent, you get what I'm saying? Like, everybody try to pick up with somebody to make them feel like.
No, I mean, I hear what you're saying.
Who was motivating to you at the time in Cleveland?
I don't think there was any one person that was motivating me. I think the situation overall motivated me. Like I said, 15 games into the season, I was a starting point guard. So there was, I don't know if you guys remember veteran point guard Bimbo Coles.
Of course.
He was
That's what I'm saying.
Bimbo Coles was there. They had Mil Palacio. They had the number 3 pick, DeJuan Wagner.
Of course.
These were all the guards that were ahead of me at that time. And I'm playing against these guys. And like I said, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say 15 games into the season, I was the starting point guard. Okay. You guys,
Right.
Right. You put your own perspective on that, but understand, walk on, 15 games in. Get what I'm saying?
That's a fucking accomplishment.
But I do have to give a shout out to Ricky Davis.
That's all.
He was.
You know what I mean?
Ricky Davis.
Was influential.
Yes.
Okay.
That dude is a.
Shout outs to Ricky Davis. Yes, Rick, what up?
Yes.
See, some people gonna hear this and they gonna want to know, like, I played a part. At least that this kid looked at me a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
Ricky Davis was at the peak of his career when he was in Cleveland. I mean, he put up a lot of shots, but he gets buckets. That was his nickname. He gets buckets. And it was him. It was Darius Miles when he was in his prime. Just dunking on cats. Just putting him on his numbers, just flushing on guys. We had, also Carlos Boozer. He was a rookie that year.
Shout out to C. Booze.
But Bimbo Coles, took me under his wing. Veteran point guard taught me a little something about the game, like just watching him in practice, the way he moved, the way he played, the way he ran his offense. Little things like that. I'm a student of the game.
Right.
I've always been a student of the game. In order to get to the next level, you have to be a student. You can't think you know everything.
That's right.
Can't think you.
I got lost there. I'm just being honest. I got lost there. You know what I'm saying?
So I always picked up little things. Just watch, just be an observer.
You go from
Cleveland,
Atlanta. What was before you
My
keep going back?
Atlanta?
No. What was your experience like from leaving from Atlanta to going to overseas? Because that's a transition. Knowing that you've been there, you tasted that, you know what that's like. I know we're gonna get back to the NBA, but I want the people to know, what was that like with you, to how you thought, what was your thought process to make you chase or lay back? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was it from Atlanta to?
Well, it was
overseas.
It was hard for me to grasp because growing up in New York City, you learn that you're bred to be the best. You're bred to be the best. If you're better than the dude in front of you or the dude next to you, you're gonna get playing time. That was my mindset growing up. If I'm better than the guy next to me, I should be getting X amount of playing time. I should get that spot on the team. And when I got to the league, it wasn't about your basketball skills that that determined whether you got playing time or not. And that was new to me. That was new to me.
That's hot.
All the hours I put in the gym, all the guys I outworked in practice, being in practice 2 hours early, staying 2 hours after, getting X amount of shots, just that didn't determine if I got a spot on the team or not. And that's why I couldn't understand early in my career. So I should go before Greece, going to Atlanta. When I was in camp, this is when they had Shareef Abdur-Rahim, Dion Glover, Jason Terry. Dominique Wilkins was the president of the team at the time. I'm in camp with these guys. D. Wilkins called my agent and was like, Smush Parker is the best player in camp right now. There's no way he doesn't make this team.
Right.
There's no way.
Wow.
Dominique Wilkins called my agent. My agent didn't call him.
Right.
Called my agent, was like, Smush Parker is the best player in camp right now. There's no way he doesn't make this team.
Right.
But here's the politics of the game.
Okay.
They had 13 spots that were already taken up. 15 guys to a roster.
Yeah.
A big man gets hurt. I guess, he tore his ACL his last preseason game. Automatically, they got to sign him. They got to sign this guy. They can't cut him because of an injury. They had to sign him. So I ended up not making the team because of somebody else got hurt.
Wow.
Not because I couldn't play the game, not because I didn't deserve it, but because the business part of it came into play. So I go overseas, knowing that I should be in the NBA. So, and knowing I can play at that level, I'm out there killing guys, like destroying, dunking on everybody, averaging double-doubles. I went out there and won a Greek Cup.
I saw it.
I won a Greek Cup in Greece. Came back the very next season, played for tried out for the Detroit Pistons. This is a year after. I think they won it the year before. They won the championship the year before.
Yep.
They had Tayshaun Prince, Ben Wallace, Rasheed
Bullets.
Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton.
Yep.
They had all those guys. Lindsey Hunter, Darwin Ham. They were stacked. So I understand why I didn't get playing time there.
Right.
I'm playing behind a great point guard, Chauncey Billups.
Right.
I played. Larry Brown was the coach.
Oh man.
Larry Brown.
Good hands.
Great hands.
Right.
That's a great guy.
Right.
Hard to play for, but a great guy.
Right.
Picked up some good things.
Yeah, picked up some great things.
Not too many people could sit here and say they play for Larry Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fucking.
I mean, to go back to Cleveland, I played for John Lucas.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah, Hall of Fame point guard in the NBA. John Lucas. I played for Larry Brown, Detroit Pistons. Yeah. Played for Pat Riley out down in Miami. Yeah. I played for Phil Jackson in L.A.
That's what I was going to say. Like, how did y'all forgot Miami?
L.A. You played for the Phil Jackson in L.A. The fucking Knicks could use you right now. Phil need to. I remember there was an article that came out. Phil said that he loved Smush Parker because he loved the big guards. I remember there was one game I was watching at home, and I was with my friends. They didn't believe me that I knew you. I think it was the game where you ripped Steve Nash 2 times in a row. You remember that game?
Oh, I remember.
He came down. Steve Nash came down. Smush picked his pocket, and the commentator said something to the effect it was like a fluke. The very next fucking play, Smush ripped them again. You know what I mean? Like, those are things that, coming from New York City, you never thought as a kid you'd be able to do and be a part of.
Talking about, I just remember you changed the game the way that you did the things you did. I know that without your persistence, the way you were during that game, if you didn't play that way, y'all wouldn't have won.
Yeah,
I mean,
so you got a chance to play for Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
When he was coaching the Chicago Bulls or the LA Lakers?
The LA Lakers.
The LA Lakers. Okay. Take us.
You know that.
I know that.
What are you getting at?
The fans don't know that.
What are you getting at,
the
man?
fans don't know that.
What are you getting at, man?
The fans don't know that.
Yo,
we just got finished saying the LA Lakers like 18 times.
I just wanted to be clear.
His is dry. Hey, yo, his shit's so dry.
What are you getting at, B?
I want to know. See?
Okay.
All
right. Hey, I know you got to keep it real.
I want to know because I'm a fan of Kobe. First thing I'm going to ask you, what's the experience like? What was that experience like?
My man got to play with Kobe.
I just want to know.
That's what I was getting at.
I'm only asking him this because I remember, no homo, sharing a room with him in college.
Right.
I remember us watching the TV and ignoring the phone call from the agent. He knows.
Epic.
I remember the conversations of when I get there.
Epic.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I just want to ask the good things before you even try to figure out where things went wrong. I just want to hear some good things if they are there.
No, mine was going to be the same thing to you.
No, I don't know because the way he reacted was, where are you going?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you trying to tell me, B? What are you trying to ask me, rather?
No,
sound like you want to ask me something.
My shit was...
Keep talking about Phil.
My shit was, what was the experience like playing for Phil Jackson in L.A.?
Oh, all right.
Nah,
see what I'm saying?
God damn, did that sound very straightforward just now?
Yeah, just now it was straightforward.
Did you feel like you was having to read around a maze or something?
Nah, before.
Did you feel like you was being taken somewhere that you ain't know if you wanted to be there, my nigga?
Educate him.
Listen, playing for Phil Jackson was amazing. You know, the best coach I ever played for in my life. You know, like I said,
What was he like?
He's just a cool dude, man. I mean, if anybody knows me, knows that I'm a laid back kind of guy.
Very, yeah.
That's the epitome of laid back right
okay.
there. He talks slow, walks slow, not very big gestures, but it's very knowledgeable. And it was easy to play for him. You know, I mean, he allowed us to play basketball. You know, although we had a system, he allowed us to play basketball in that system. And it was real comfortable. It was like I said, I just love playing with him. You know, I'll take you back into a story where first round of the playoffs, you know, we're playing against the Phoenix Suns. Like, you hear stories about this all the time, but I never thought that I would be in it. We in film. You know, we in this movie theater, we're watching this game film. Before game tape, he had us all sit with our hands crossed. Had us sit up. Had the sage smoking in the corner. You know, had us close our eyes. And then he just started talking to us in like this meditation voice, talk about, you know, we want you to close your eyes and think about, you know, being on a beach somewhere and you're seeing the water and you're listening to the sounds. Like, he just wanted us to be at a state of peace and our minds to be focused, that when we did watch this game tape, that we will focus on the game tape and not thinking about our families or our problems or issues off the court. And just little things like that was strange. It might sound strange, but it was different and it was helpful.
The Zen Master.
The Zen Master. There you go.
All right.
What was it that you felt didn't work between you and Kobe? The view, or to say some of the things that have been said. I just want to know where do you think he got that, or why you think he came up with that?
I'm glad you asked that question. I'm gonna take it back to our situation at first. When Coach brought you into Fordham, and I didn't know about it, and then you, like you said, you thought you was gonna be the point guard and we was gonna be in the backcourt together. You know, the competitor in you and the competitor in me clashed. So the same way we at first didn't gel, the competitor in me, the guy that is not gonna back down from a fight, and the guy that's not gonna back down in a fight, and him just didn't work. That is what it is.
Hey, let me tell you something. I respect the fact that you could sit there and you could put it in that perspective to understand, like, it's mad things that you could look at to try to find that's wrong or it shouldn't have went that way. But the fact that he just placed it as if I understand where the competitiveness, that's part of the game. The only thing we could do after that is only work on our character. It doesn't matter how much money you ever make in life. Your character goes with you forever.
Church.
You understand what I'm trying to say? My character stopped me. It stopped me short. I wouldn't understand that until I got a little older to see the things that I didn't understand growing up.
Right.
But that's why I wanted this platform. Do you see? Because he gets to express where he might have, how he might feel now, but at the time, he didn't see things that way. You get what I'm trying to say?
Nah, for sure.
Because I'm just saying this, am I right or am I wrong? The way you responded to how he was saying it, you don't think it would be different, Smush, if you would responded like this now?
It would have been a lot different.
That's why this platform is that important,
I
bro.
Still been in LA.
He's helping the next kid
still
realize that I can challenge this because that's the competitor in me.
Actual fact.
But it's certain things that if I could look at and maybe, like I said to Dre, be able to pivot. I couldn't pivot. Like my pivot was what I was taught.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
For
Like
sure.
That's what I was taught. So
sure.
It's hard for you to change when you've already been taught a certain way. So then you ask yourself, what is it that you could do with that to help the next generation?
Mm-hmm.
How can you help the next generation figure out how to pivot? What things can you bring to them so that they can see that these things might come about and it's your character, or it's like what Chris was saying, or like what Greg was saying. Like if you don't get a chance to look at these things, you might make the same mistakes that we did.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean that any of us is better than anyone, but at the end of the day, we trying to use, you get what I'm saying?
Your
to
experience
help
is to help because you're in the flesh. Not too many people, all these kids got posters on their walls. Kids look up to fucking Kobe. You got a chance to really actually play with Kobe in the backcourt, man.
Yes,
you was a starting point guard for the Los Angeles Lakers, man. Not too many kids from New York City could sit there and say that shit, man.
I'm 35. Look, what am I saying to you? I remember when we was in that room.
and like my man everybody was saying, is we have the platform now to try to teach the younger generation.
They didn't do that to us. They didn't do that
Streets
for us.
first, baby. That's why we did it.
Had I handled that situation better, had we handled the situation better, me and everybody at Fordham, we could have did some big things that one season that we didn't do.
Right.
Had I handled myself differently in LA, I'd still be a Laker right now.
Absolutely.
I might even be a New York Knick right now because I know Phil Jackson would have brought me to the New York Knicks.
Motherfucker.
Because I know the triangle like the back of my hand.
So
you got these guys out here who don't know how to run the triangle at all. Knicks looking bad.
And feel like big guards. You know what I'm saying?
He likes big guards.
He said that. He likes big guards. That's why he loves Smush. I remember that shit. So I think just, you being here, man, was just something that is needed, man. I think a lot of people need to hear your perspective on just the game of basketball and the coach itself. And we can't say it enough. That's why we wanted to have a platform like this so guys like yourself could be heard and educate a lot of these young kids, because the culture from when we was coming up playing ball, the shit changed so much, man.
Yes, sir.
It's
changed a lot.
It's changed so much, man.
And not to say, I think it's changed for the worse, man.
Right.
That's why it takes for us to understand where we went wrong and not ignore that. If we ignore that, like Chris said, we keeping that chain going.
Yeah.
If we don't sit here and try to recognize and face what we might have made different decisions that we know didn't help us in the long run, if we can learn to shape that, it's still never over. You get what I'm trying to say? Like a person, like I told him, a person looks at me and they just be like, yo, hey man, you look like you doing good. You look like everything is cool. But a person wouldn't realize that because of the people that I was around at a young age, all I did was pick up fast when it came to business because I seen them eating.
Yeah.
But it also changed my character so that when things came about, I didn't handle it right. Because I just looked at the eating, but I didn't understand how to handle it.
Yeah. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now, when you can't eat, you still got to live with how you handle stuff. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm trying to say? And I'm just saying that I salute you for the fact that I know that going to school with you and the things that we went through and the perspective that we had to be able to see you make it, to be able to see you deal with ups and downs, to be able to turn around today just saying, as a man, I got a better view of how I look at stuff. I have a better perspective of how people rather hold on to that hurt and don't realize where they went wrong and never change nothing to make things better for themselves in the future.
Educate them.
You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, as a man, I salute that.
Educate them.
I didn't ignore that. And I'm just saying, like, regardless of who people say they have, I wouldn't have found none of this smush about myself, and no one would have never been able to change me if I didn't go to church. If I didn't try to figure out how to change my perspective would have always been that way that you've seen in Fordham. You understand what I'm saying? And I can't be mad at that because I'm a product of my environment. I only know what I'm taught. You understand what I mean? But I also know as I'm growing up, it's not just about what I'm taught now, it's about what I understand that I learned from.
And then passing it forward.
That's why I'm going to salute you when I hear you talking like this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, here's how you can understand everything that I'm saying. What you got going on now with yourself, Smush?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Well, I still play basketball.
Go ahead.
I still hoop overseas.
Go ahead.
Last year I was in Morocco. You know, I'm heavy in the church now.
What you want for tomorrow?
What I want for tomorrow?
What you want to do for tomorrow? What you want to bring for tomorrow?
Like what you've been talking about, you know, passing my knowledge forward to the younger generation, to the kids growing up, trying to get to where I was, and I'm trying to teach them how to be better than me. That's all. I just want to pay it forward. That's where I'm at.
That's what I'm talking about. Do you realize that most people would look at you and feel that what they see is what you should be or what your future should be? I just wanted to hear it from you. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, most people probably wouldn't even think and understand where I'm getting with that. You have to be able to see what you want. You chase after what you want, but if your words don't stick to what you're saying, that next generation is watching.
Yes, sir.
You feel what I'm saying? So I make sure that we all stay on according to what we're saying, because just your vision and someone hearing that, they understand your experiences, and now they coming to find you.
Yeah.
They need you.
Yes,
that's all I'm saying.
Yep.
I like to hear that.
Yeah,
I will always bother, but I would only experience this because of being around at the time.
Nah, man, let's hear it, man. Let's go, man.
We shared the room together in college. Now, mind you, it was a little tension at the time, just being real. So it was
that competitive spirit again.
I don't want to stay in a room with him. He got his group of who he like and mess with, and I got mine of who I like and mess with.
That competitive
spirit. Why
spirit
y'all gonna put both of us in a room if you know we challenge each other? Long story short, I guess that was to get us to get cool, which we did. Until this. The man No Homo is taking a shower. How long does it take you to take a shower as a man? No homo. How long? It doesn't take me more than 15 minutes, if that, 20 minutes.
I don't know, man. Next question.
I'm just saying, we share the same room together as college. He take 2 hours, an hour to shower. Like, I listen to Diplomats to warm up. I asked them, let me hear what you listening to.
I was listening to
Michael Jackson.
Yes.
I'm just saying that you know what you.
Yes, I knew where you was going.
This is what I'm saying. I'm just saying that. Do you understand? Look, we got the same competitive drive, but do you see the differences?
Absolutely. But don't be fucking coming on the show talking about people showering and shit like that, man.
Obviously, obviously, you sit up here, you want to make, he want to make it seem like a nigga in the shower with him. All I wanted to say was how long it takes for a man No Homo to take a shower. It should take 2 hours. What is he in the bathroom for 2 hours?
Your name is A Butter, Hollywood A. We don't fucking ask people how long they take showers, fam. We don't do that.
Hey, yo,
man, he could have passed, so he did say no homo before he started his story.
Oh, you heard me. Yeah, he said, at least, thank you for standing up for me, man.
What
you know what I'm saying? He always want to sit up and talk about the white standing up and look. He just
did he have a shower cap or no shower cap?
Hey,
shower cap or no shower cap?
Hey, Yo,
I'm just saying.
You see, now he's going. You see, I didn't even get it.
Now you're gonna try to flip it on me, but he the one that asked the fucking question. This is Streets First, baby.
Hey, man, we appreciate you though for coming out, Smush, man. It's gonna be.
Thank you, man.
And you know, you already know we want you to stay in touch with us and keep us posted on the things that you're doing and whatever endeavors that you come across. We want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Man, good luck with everything,
we cross paths for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you, man.
Let's just try to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to see you though, bro.
Oh yeah, likewise.
Nah, it was a pleasure. Get out of here, man. Appreciate you, man.
I just want to say, yo, it's a pleasure, man, to see the growth, man. To know where you came from. I know B. He's always been B. But you can't say that we weren't different when we were younger, man.
Real talk.
It's good to see where you at right now, man. What you're doing, man. And I just want to commend you, man.
Appreciate it.
That's what's up.
I really do, man. Real.
Yo, hey, I fucking knew you for a long time too, and I want to fucking commend you, man. You sitting next to me. We got our own fucking podcast. Streets First, baby.
Streets First Basketball Podcast. We appreciate y'all for listening. Follow us on Twitter at Streets First PC. Follow us on Facebook, Streets First Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Streets First Podcast. Tell them something, B, before we go.
I ain't got shit to tell them, but we came from the Park to Wall Street, baby.
It's a wrap.
You dig?